welcome to another episode of Aligned Heart. This is Misty Springer, and I am happy to be here with you today. I'm going to take a big deep breath and land right here. I'm looking forward to this time with you. It's been a little bit of a crazy morning. I am getting ready to head out of town for a week. And I don't know about all of you, but I would imagine that packing up and getting ready feels a little hectic, and it definitely has felt that way in my house. I'm grateful that I have this opportunity to touch it base with all of you and to take that pause and to step away from the craziness for a minute and just breathe with all of you and recognize that there is power in stillness. And that's what we're all about here. I am dedicated to you as my audience, my clients, showing up as the very best version of you. And that takes a regulated nervous system. That takes stillness in our body and mind and heart. And as I was running around, kind of like frantic, crazy, checking off in my mind all the to-dos that I needed to get done before we head out the door, I knew that this podcast was coming up. This is one of the things that was on my list today, but I never want to approach this podcast from the standpoint of a checklist or a to-do. My intention is to be here in full presence with all of you because I know the power of presence. And so as I came into my office, I took a moment. And, your mind, when there's so many things to get done, it can feel like I don't have time to just stop. I need to just get in and get to work. And instead, I took 5 minutes, just 5 minutes to breathe and to get still. And from that place, ideas, thoughts started to flow. My mind cleared, my body settled, my heart opened in just 5 minutes. That is what my intention is with this podcast, is that you can recognize for yourself that there are very practical and meaningful tools that you can use on a daily basis that take very little time, that can bring you back to that place of peace in your body. So many of my clients come to me, and when I ask what they want, the number one answer is peace. They want to feel present in their life. They want to feel like they're thriving and not just surviving. They want to feel connected to the people that they love most. They want to understand what their role is in life, not just go through the motions, but actually feel like they're waking up with purpose. And that starts with presence. It starts with stillness. And it was just such a beautiful reminder of that today as I started this podcast in that place of anxious frenzy and trying to get everything done, and just coming here, pausing in the stillness. It was like a breath of fresh air. So I'm excited to share today's podcast with all of you and that beautiful gift of stillness. So we're talking today about gratitude, and gratitude as the gateway to abundance. And I recently was talking with my family about the idea of gratitude. And I mentioned that it's like the little black dress in personal development, psychology. The gratitude seems to be plastered everywhere. If you want to find the number one tool to create less stress, more productivity, more connection, and more abundance in your life, gratitude is your tool. And so we're going to take a look at gratitude today, but maybe from a little bit of a different perspective, because I think we are all really good, at least I am, with gratitude in the circumstances that feel really good. I mentioned in a previous podcast on Seek and Expect Miracles that I have a practice every night of just marinating in the miracles of the day. And I love that practice. It's such beautiful gift that I give myself every night to just marinate in gratitude for what the day has brought, the miracles, the gifts that have come my way. And what I also have been practicing lately is marinating in the gratitude for what is not happening in my life. That's been a little bit of a different experience because that truly is where we shift into and expand our understanding of abundance. So I believe firmly that abundance is all there is, that abundance is the way that we are designed to receive, the way that God wants to provide for us, that there is an abundance of resources and love and prosperity and connection that is available to us every single day. And that abundance we tap into, we tap into that flow of abundance as we become an energetic match for it. So as we raise our energetic vibration, our energy aligns with what we want, and that flow, it just opens up the flow of what we want into our life. The more faith we have, the more certainty we have of what is coming into our life, the more that flow opens up and drops in. And sometimes we can have a kind of a push-pull relationship with abundance. It's like I want abundance to come in through my business, but I don't want to uh, reach out or put myself out there because it feels scary and unknown and unfamiliar, and I'm afraid I'm going to get rejected, right? Or I really want this puppy because I want this abundance of love and playfulness and all that comes with a puppy. But oh, never mind. I don't want to take care of the puppy. I don't want the responsibility of the puppy. I don't want to potty train the puppy, right? That's that push-pull relationship that we have with abundance. Like, yes, please give me everything that I want, and maybe not that. So, as we really come to understand this belief that abundance is all there is, it is a practice in understanding and accepting and loving all that is. And there's a beautiful quote by a man, Dieter Uchtdorf. He says, "How much of life do we miss when we, by waiting to see the rainbow before thanking God that there is rain?" I'm going to say that one more time. How much of life do we miss by waiting to see the rainbow before thanking God that there is rain? A couple of years ago, I choose a word every year. My word of the year, it evolved over the year, and my word of the year was brutiful. Beautiful and brutal. It was probably one of the most beautiful and brutal years of my life. My mom had she was diagnosed with terminal cancer in January. My husband had a major neck surgery at the same time. I had my oldest son get married. I had two of my children who served missions for our church. It was a time of a beautiful celebration as we spent a year saying goodbye to my mom, and a time of intense, brutal emotion as we said goodbye to my mom. There were in that year, we took like the trip of a lifetime with friends 10 days after my mom's funeral. And so it was this amazing ride of beautiful and brutal. And what that year taught me was that there is abundance in all of it. And that didn't mean I had to enjoy the times that felt brutal, but I could feel gratitude for them. There were things there in those times that I will never, ever forget. There were times of sweetness and connection that I will hold on to and cherish for the rest of my life. There was beauty in the brutal. It was brutiful. So that's what I'm offering, is that we have this opportunity to expand into a different understanding, a broader sense of gratitude. So, what does this look like in practice? This is all well and good in theory, but what does this look like in practice? So recently, I have been and had another opportunity to practice this abundance in all things, that abundance is all there is, gratitude in every circumstance. I have felt this block in a particular area of my business, and it's been very frustrating, something that I have resisted, tried to figure out, tried to like break down. It's been something that I have really felt stopped and stuck by. And so, as I was contemplating on this morning and bringing this into my meditation and prayer, the visual of a dam came into my mind when I was just really sinking into, okay, if abundance is all there is, how can I see this different? Help me to see this differently. And so, as I was in this meditation, this idea of the dam came into my mind. And I recognized in that place where, like, the water, the flow was stopped by this dam, it was still. It was perfectly still. And there's a dam right near our house, then, and we're big water skiers. I love to slalom water ski. And every time I pass that dam and I see that still water, it's like, ooh, that looks like the perfect water to ski on. But there is that stillness that comes in that dammed up water. And so there was gratitude there. I realized, oh, I have so much gratitude for the stillness that this has created, for the opportunity to dive into introspection, to look at things differently, to examine my life and the way that I view abundance, the way that I view my business, the way that I attach or detach from my business, making it means something about me that's attached to my worthiness. There's so much here for me in the stillness. And it would not be here if the flow had just continued moving on. And so as I sat just in that gratitude for the stillness, all of a sudden I noticed that the water continued to move. It was still moving forward. It was slower. It wasn't the rush of the river, but it was moving through. Every dam, either the water redirects or there is an escape point that they build into the dam that allows the water to move through. So I noticed after I recognized, oh, if abundance is all there is, and I'm grateful for the stillness, isn't that interesting? Now I can see where the water is moving through. Where I felt like just completely stuck and not moving forward, I'm recognizing there is movement, there is progress. And so as I was able to contemplate on that, a whole wealth of things that I was grateful for in the small movement forward opened up as well. And what I want to offer is that what opened that visual, that meditation, was the intention of help me to see this differently. If abundance is all there is, how am I grateful that there is rain instead of just praying for the rainbow? So it's changed the way that I look at this block, or what I saw as a block. It's now a moment of pause, a moment of reflection, a beautiful gift. It truly feels like a gift to have this time and to be able to go deep into the stillness and find the answers that are there. So, one of the practical tools I'm going to offer for you is this question that you can contemplate. Where are you feeling blocked? Where does your progress feel slowed down? And maybe you can even access that by noticing places that you feel frustrated. Where is it that you feel like, I wish this was different? And when you feel that, I want you to pause and ask, if abundance is all there is, what is there here for me to be grateful for? Just pause and allow that to marinate a little bit. And I invite you to come into the meditation that I have that will accompany this podcast. And we're going to take you into that practice right now so you can have that experience and allow what comes through to be present for you. So abundance is all there is. Gratitude is the gateway to abundance. We open the door, open the gates of abundance and become an energetic match when we can become aligned with abundance, not just for the things that are going well, but for the things that are not going well, the areas that we feel stuck. For all of when we're grateful for the rainbow and the rain. Thank you all, and please join me in the meditation that follows this podcast. This is another episode of Aligned Heart. As always, please share with a friend, rate, review. It helps me so much. And if anything resonated with you today, please reach out, message me, let me know what stood out to you. Always grateful for your comments and your feedback. It truly has been such a gift as I have put this podcast out into the world to hear how the meditations and the concepts are landing for each of you. So thank you all. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.